Me 22-year-old man with my ex 23-year-old 8.5 years, she left and came back. We started dating in 8th grade. We were together through high school and college, dating the entire time. We both graduated from college this summer, which was a huge milestone for us. After college, she got into grad school in our hometown, which is about 6 hours away from where we went to school. I had already accepted a job in our college town, so we made a plan. We agreed that I would stay in our college town for a year, and then I would transfer to my job in her hometown so we could live together during her second and final year of grad school. It's a big step, and while I'm looking forward to it, it also feels like a lot of changes are coming. She stayed with her family for the summer before grad school started, from June to September, and during this time we were long distance. As the weeks went by, she became noticeably more irritable and distant. It was hard to ignore the change, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. After a couple of months, she came to visit me in our college town, and it was then that she said we should take a break while she went to grad school. I completely fell apart, crying uncontrollably, and she changed her mind after seeing how much it hurt me. But then, just a couple of weeks later, she started texting me, telling me she didn't feel like talking to me anymore and that she loved me but wasn't in love with me. It was all through text and it felt so impersonal. I asked her if we could call and she agreed a few hours later. I told her that it would hurt me too much to ever speak to her again and that I forgave her. I said a final goodbye. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done, and I'm still trying to process everything. I completely fell apart as expected. I couldn't hold myself together. I missed work for an entire week, unable to face the world or even function. I become completely unstable for over a month, spiraling deeper into a place I didn't know I could reach. My eating habits vanish entirely. I barely manage to take a bite of food. Sleep is no better. I go nights without a wink, lying there, consumed by everything. She makes no effort to contact me, no messages, no calls, not a single word for 10 long weeks. It's like I don't exist, like I was nothing to her, like what we had meant nothing at all. Finally, I start to heal. I begin to accept that she isn't the one for me, that whatever this was, it's over, that I need to move forward for my own sake. Slowly, painfully, I take the steps I need to take, letting go piece by piece, learning to breathe again, forcing myself to stand on my own. Then, just when I'm starting to feel the faintest hint of normalcy returning, just when I'm starting to move forward, she reaches out. She sends me a message over Facebook. She tells me that not talking is too hard for her. She says it in a way that suggests she's the one who's been suffering, as if I haven't been through absolute hell. I delete the message without replying, not letting myself get dragged back in. 4 days later, she tries texting me. I don't even hesitate. I block her number. 3 days after that, her brother reaches out to me on her behalf. That's when she cracks. It's finals week in her first quarter of grad school, a pivotal and stressful time for her, and she drives 6 hours the night before one of her final exams just to see me. She shows up unannounced, face to face, to tell me she made a huge mistake. This all happened this past Wednesday. I listen to her, but I don't let my guard down. I tell her plainly that I don't believe her. I tell her she needs more time to think carefully about what she really wants and whether it's truly me she wants. I'm straightforward and skeptical, laying everything bare. I remind her of the time she told me she wasn't in love with me, that she didn't feel that way. She stumbles at this, claiming she doesn't even remember saying that. She insists she's been thinking about everything for weeks and that she deeply regrets her decision. She's emotional, adamant, but I can't shake my doubt. Her words don't align with her past actions, and I'm not sure I can trust her feelings now, not after everything that's happened. During our time apart, she admits to having gone on one date. She describes it as terrible, emphasizing that it wasn't the reason for her initial decision. She assures me that she didn't leave for another guy, that there wasn't anyone else involved, but that doesn't erase my fears. Deep down, I'm terrified that she's reaching out now because she's lonely, nostalgic, or caught up in some fleeting wave of regret. I'm scared that if I let her back into my life, she'll leave me again the moment things get mundane or challenging, or when the excitement fades. She tells me it's not nostalgia, that she's thought long and hard about this. She insists she's learned her lesson, that she understands what she gave up and truly wants to make things right. Her words are firm, almost desperate, but my doubts remain. How can I know for sure? How can I trust that this isn't temporary, that she won't hurt me again once her feelings shift? I tell her she needs to take a couple more months to think about everything, to truly decide if it's really me that she loves, and not just a reaction to her loneliness or regret. I'm firm about it, knowing I can't let her rush back into my life without being certain. Then, I open up about how hard the breakup was on me, laying everything bare. I don't hold back, telling her how I completely fell apart, how I missed work, how I couldn't eat or sleep. I proceed to condemn our entire 8.5 year relationship, something I had to do just to survive. I admit to her that I had to demonize her and everything we had together in order to move on. I lay out all the flaws I had tried to overlook during those years, showing her the cracks I had ignored for far too long. But I don't stop there. I tell her about how much better my life has become since then. I've started going to the gym every single day, something I never would have done before. I've picked up new hobbies, things that bring me joy and purpose. I've become far more social, spending more time with friends, reconnecting with people, and finding support in ways I didn't know I needed. As I speak, I make it clear that I'm no longer the person she left. I've grown, I've changed, and I'm not willing to undo all of that for something uncertain. If she truly wants me back, she has to be sure, absolutely sure, and ready to prove it. What do I do here, guys? Thanks. He posted an update after 2 years later. I, 24M, dated my ex, let's call her Lily, 24F, from the time we were 13 until we graduated college at 21. It was an 8-year relationship, spanning from 8th grade through college graduation. Lily left me in September 2016 after getting accepted into an Ivy League graduate program. The breakup came out of nowhere, blindsiding me completely. I was in shock. Honestly, in some ways I still am. For weeks after she left, I was stuck in a haze of disbelief, trying to piece myself back together. Then, in early November 2016, Lily began trying to contact me again. At first, I ignored her. I had already started building walls around myself, trying to protect whatever fragile progress I had made. But then one day she showed up at my apartment completely unannounced. She had driven 300 miles from her grad school to the city where I now live and work. She stood at my door, apologizing, telling me she had made a mistake and asking to reunite. Deep down, I desperately wished we were still together, but I couldn't let her in. I had already started hardening myself against her memory, telling myself it was over. So I told her, politely but firmly, that I wasn't interested. I refused to let her back in, despite every fiber of my being yearning to say yes. But after she left, something shifted. Her unexpected arrival stirred up emotions I thought I had buried. It enhanced the fantasy I had been clinging to, the one where maybe, just maybe, we could work it out. After all, this was the person I had spent my entire formative years loving. Lily had been my whole world, and part of me still wanted her to be. A few weeks later, around Thanksgiving, I caved. Knowing we'd both be back in our hometown, I called her and asked to meet up. We met, and in the middle of our conversation, I asked her point blank if she had slept with someone else during our time apart. She admitted that she had. Her honesty hit me like a punch to the gut, and I immediately told her I wasn't interested in getting back together. After that, we both went our separate ways, each grieving in our own way. Still, something about the situation gnawed at me. I had grown up close to Lily's parents, loving them almost like my own family, so I reached out to her mother privately. In the course of our conversation, Lily's mother let slip something that confirmed my worst fears. After sleeping with the other guy, Lily had tried to contact him again. But instead of reciprocating, he told her to get lost. Hearing this from her mother solidified what I had already suspected. I was her fallback plan. She had come back to me not because she truly wanted to repair what we had, but because her attempt at moving on had failed. That realization, as painful as it was, helped me finally see the situation for what it truly was. Lily never admitted the full truth to me at the time, but she later confessed that when she left me, she had already been asked out by this new guy. She had wanted to say yes, so instead of dealing with the complexities of our relationship, she dumped me. Hearing this shattered whatever fragments of hope I had left. The pain was unbearable, overwhelming, and I knew I couldn't let her continue to hold this kind of power over me. I blocked her on everything, every platform, every avenue she could use to reach me. But that didn't stop her. Lily tried to make contact several times after that, but I refused to respond. I thought I was doing the right thing, but the pain lingered, a constant weight on my chest. Then, in mid-January 2017, life dealt me another blow. My mother passed away. In the days following, my father called Lily's mother to share the news. During their conversation, Lily's mother revealed something that caught me completely off guard. Lily was in a severe depression. She had left grad school and returned home, her life seemingly unraveling. I was grieving and lonely, still deeply in love with Lily despite everything. The day after my mother's funeral, I made the impulsive decision to visit her. When I saw her, I barely recognized her. By January she had lost nearly 20 pounds, she was already thin before, and she seemed utterly broken. She was borderline catatonic, unresponsive to the world around her. Seeing her in that state broke something in me too. I couldn't stop thinking, she's in so much pain, maybe she loves me? That thought echoed in my mind, filling every quiet moment with doubt and confusion. But I didn't stay. After the visit, I went back to my apartment 300 miles away, more conflicted than ever. I couldn't reconcile the person I had loved so deeply with the one who had caused me so much pain. I never took her back, but the truth is, I never stopped yearning for her. It has been 2 years since all of this happened, and even now, I find myself questioning whether I made the right choice. Logically, I think I did. I know deep down that I couldn't rebuild what we had after everything that had happened. But that hasn't stopped the pessimism from creeping in, clouding the way I see people around me. I don't trust my judgment of character anymore. How could I, when the girl I once believed to be an angel, the one I thought was my soulmate, was capable of abandoning me and then trying to use me when things didn't work out for her? Even now, I've still never met anyone as beautiful as Lily, at least not on the inside. That's the part that hurts the most. The idea that what I thought was real may never be replicated, that no one will ever measure up to who I believed she was. Since everything unfolded, Lily and I have agreed to meet twice. Both meetings were far from what I had hoped they might be. The first was little more than a superficial display, both of us trying to show how much we had moved on. It felt hollow, almost performative, as if we were trying to convince ourselves as much as each other. The second meeting was different. It was raw. I opened up about my regrets, admitting that I wished I had been a better man throughout our relationship. It was painful dredging up the past like that, but ultimately, it felt just as unresolved as before. Despite everything, Lily went back and completed her grad school program, graduating on time in June 2018. It's something I admire about her resilience, her ability to push through even when things seem insurmountable. But even knowing that doesn't fill the void she left behind. I still haven't replaced the hole in my life where Lily used to be. It feels like a part of me is missing and I don't know how to fill it. I push people away not because I want to, but because I can't bear the thought of being hurt again. If a girl like Lily, the kindest soul I have ever known, was capable of cutting me so deeply, then how could I possibly trust anyone else? Surely everyone else will hurt me too. Even now I feel lost. And for all I know, she might be lost too. What she did, leaving me the way she did, coming back only when she was rejected by someone else, was selfish and gross. I know that. But at the same time, it doesn't erase all the good she brought into my life during those formative years. She was my anchor, my confidant, my first love. I can't just forget that, no matter how hard I try. Right now, I'm in no contact with Lily. It's what I know I need to do to protect myself, but that doesn't stop me from loving and missing her presence in my life. I wonder how to move forward, how to live without her when even in the arms of another woman, my mind drifts back to Lily. I miss the trust we shared, the deep level of connection we built over nearly a decade. No one else knows me the way she did. No one else knows her the way I do. It feels impossible to replicate that kind of bond, and I'm left wondering if I'll ever find it again, or if that part of my life is simply over. Here is end of the posted update. We'll get back to you with this post updates. If you enjoy our videos, so don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Have a good day, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do it and hit the notification bell icon to stay updated with more shocking real-life stories happening around you.